Hello, everybody. How are you doing? And this is interactive. That's kind of who I am. Okay, so feel free to talk back. It's all good. I love the talk that preceded me because I'm talking a little bit more about that. And one of the things that I did was I went online in preparation for this talk, and you look up images, about when you say work-life balance, you look up images. And it's interesting, the mythical images that they present. So if you look at the first image, you've got a woman who's going to race two people. She's on a scooter, they're on like a skateboard and a bike. What are the chances? But to me, it kind of suggests that if you want to get ahead, other people are going to deliberately act in a way that lets you get ahead. That's a lie, all right? Part two, I've been to many a conference. This second image suggests that you can easily mix work and life and fun together. You're in your business suit, you're on the beach, you're kicking a volleyball. The volleyball has no sand on it. Nobody's wet, nobody fell down. I gave that a mixed reviews, okay? That's a lie. And so rather than call them lies, you can call it the myths, that people have. So what I want to just start with is examining all of the myths and the lies, in my opinion, that we have about balancing work and life and about stress and what it means as regards to the work that we do. So some of the myths that I have found to be untrue, and I won't go through them all, but my personal favorite, thanks to multitasking, more gets done in less time. Not so much. With the advent of the computer, we thought, this is going to save so much time, but they fill the extra time with more work. So what was that about? Okay. So again, we think about in your mind, what are the myths that we hold very closely to us? And I think that's one of the things that contributes to our increasing stress. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll give you some of the facts. So much for, I call it amyology, but the facts are that most working people, above 80%, feel extremely stressed. And contributors to that stress include workload, not how hard or how difficult, but the sheer volume of work that gets dumped on your head every day. Okay. Personal issues. If you have a life, I notice you don't work here. You're volunteering. So I see where you have lives outside of what your 8-hour work every day. And when you add it all together, it's difficult to mix together for a variety of reasons. And folks that are extremely stressed out, one of the things that we know is that it is so prevalent in the United States that healthcare expenditures are 50% higher for folks that experience extreme levels of stress, okay? So somebody's making $1 on you being stressed out. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. It's benefiting somebody. Now, it's important to know the signs of stress, the physical signs of stress. You ever just, I can't sleep, my neck, my back hurts, I eat too much, I forget to eat lunch, all of the things that happen. I think everybody has these are the top 5 physical contributors to stress. So everybody has a trigger. When you get stressed out, it's something, you can feel it physically for most people. There are also psychological signs of stress, okay? Wanting to scream, wanting to run away. Sometimes I come to Penn State, and I love Penn State, we are, etc. But sometimes you drive, and I just want to drive on past Penn State and keep going because it's just too much. And so, see, somebody else feels the same way. It's not just me. Good to know. Good to know. But feelings of anxiety, you're in a hurry all the time, overwhelmed, can't breathe, can't see. How many of you know somebody, like coworker, somebody you know? Raise your hand if you know somebody like that. Okay, a lot of hands out there. We're not talking about them, okay? We're talking about you, and it's important for you to really get that. It's important for you to recognize the signs of extreme stress in yourself. So look at somebody and say, you better recognize. No, do it. Look at them, say, you better recognize, you can do this. Thank you, somebody. Okay, work with me, okay? It's important to remember we're talking about you. One of the things I strongly believe, which was mentioned earlier, small steps make a big difference and go a long way in alleviating stress. If you can't change your whole life, start somewhere. So one of the things that I know about stress and about life is your life is dictated by your core values. I had a friend who used to say, now this may not be true, but I believe it till I die. Like, okay. So this meant that his core values dictated who he was, and he accepted that. Whatever, right, wrong, true, false, he accepted who he was. So my question to you is, what are your core truths about stress and balance? So one of my core truths is peace is essential to my life and to my success. And if I don't have peace, I'm not going to be successful. So take a few seconds and think about what are your core truths, or think of one of your personal core truths. Okay.
I just retired, so I'm not going to worry about it anymore.
See, and I want to be you when I grow up, so it's all good. There's hope for all of us. So I would just say start somewhere. You can retire, start somewhere. The other thing I would say, there are a number of these. I won't go through them all. But in terms of little things, one of the things I did once, schedule yourself in first. One of the things I did was, I remember I took a calendar. Every time I'd see my calendar, it had so many things. I just, just a nervous wreck just looking at it. It was so full. And so at that time, I had one of those, you could write on it and so on. I erased my entire calendar, and it felt so good just erasing, like, oh my God, meeting gone, this gone, and that was when I realized this is really making me nuts. And so what I decided to do was put back on the calendar things I had to do. I'm a parent, I'm paid to go to work and so on, and things I love to do. And when I redid the calendar there, one of the things I found is some things I thought I loved, I don't love so much. And I found a brand new column called optional. So it's just kind of out. Do I really have to go to every potluck? I don't know, okay? So it opened up spaces on the calendar where there were places where I could insert peace for myself. And so the other thing, rest. Every living, healthy thing on the face of the earth rests, except humans in the United States of America, okay? It's true. We take less vacation than any other industrialized nation on the globe. So do the math. I would say it's important in the cycle of your life to include rest. It's not optional. Incorporate it, be deliberate, and put it there. The next one was spoken about earlier, and it's say no. And I want you to say it. We talk about saying no, but say the words no, 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 I ain't gonna. Who do you think you are? Okay. So now, very often we're so programmed to say yes to everything. And I encourage you, no is a good word. I like no. I've learned to embrace no. No and I are friends. And so I think very often we say no if it involves someone else or if it includes, benefits someone else for me to say no. But you can say no for yourself, okay? So I don't have to, I don't want to, I'm saying no. And very often the word no can bring you more peace. The other thing is personal relationships are long-term investments. It doesn't happen overnight. Any place else, you can send an email, a letter, a fax, but a personal relationship, you must show up yourself. And so if there are relationships that have meaning to you, make sure you're spending the time to invest in those relationships. And as the prior speaker said, take good care of your health. You only have one you. So the answer is you set your own measure of success. You find solutions that are unique to you. Everybody else don't have to care. It's all about you. I thank you so much for your time. I encourage you to live, enjoy. These are a few possibilities that might change your life. There are more in my book, Stress Less, 10 Balancing Insights on Work and Life. And it's a short, easy book because stressed out people don't have time to read 20 chapters on how they messed up. Okay, start in the middle, pick one you like. And I thank you again. Have a great, great afternoon. Thank you.